Welcome to Smart Parents, Successful Students, the podcast that helps parents like you guide your children toward academic confidence and success. I'm your host, Helen Panos, and I'm here to share expert tips, proven strategies, and inspiring stories that make the journey to school success a little smoother for both you and your student. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my Smart Parents, Successful Students podcast. I'm your host, Helen Panos. This is season 16. Yes, I said 16. I've been doing these podcasts for about 6 years. So today I am focusing on a big topic, I think, in parents' lives called motivation. And we also have a blog on motivation. You can get it off my website at dynamislearningacademy.com. It references what we're going to be talking about today with Coach Katina, my executive function coach. Hello, Katina.
Hello. I'm glad to be here today talking about motivation. I know that is a big struggle, I think, for children, adults, and everyone in between.
All right. No, we don't have any, outside interruptions, distractions, or about getting motivated, do we? Or now we have the World Cup going on in Atlanta, so there's distractions everywhere.
There's always going to be something to pull you away from whatever it is you're supposed to be doing.
That's right. So we are going to help parents with this little topic here because I see a lot of parents looking at it every time I mention motivation. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, Katina.
Yes, I am a special educator of over 20 years. I have an undergraduate in early childhood special education, a master's in autism and behavior, as well as a lot of further education outside of my collegiate background. I also am an ADHDer myself. I was early diagnosed as a child, which I feel very blessed to have this perspective. Because I definitely get the perspective of a child growing up with the knowledge of their own ADHD, as well as being an adult and seeing where the differences lie, and what works for kids might be different than what works for teens, and what's different than what works for adults. And I've been on both of these sides now, so I do have a really unique way of connecting, especially with a lot of the younger kids, on what it feels like to be navigating in a world that was not built for our own brains.
Right. Gosh, I tell you, it is a different world from when I even grew up. A lot more, let's say, marketing, things targeting people to do things, keeping busier nowadays than in the past. There's a lot more going on. But let me ask you, so parents often say their child is being lazy. Oh, I think I might have even said, are you being lazy? So how can parents tell the difference between a motivation problem and, let's say, an executive function challenge?
Well, honestly, the best way, or I don't want to say the best way, but one of the more simple ways of determining if someone is really just being lazy or if this is a motivation struggle that is more linked to something executive functioning is typically being lazy is, I don't want to do the thing. I don't feel like doing it. You have the energy to do it. You have the ability to get up and to get it done, but you just don't want to. And that is very different than feel like having that inability to get started, wanting to do the thing, knowing that you need to get the thing done, knowing what you need to do to get it done, but still lacking that ability to actually get it done. And this also stems from a lot of overwhelm, like when you just don't know where to start or how to get what you want going. And this can lead to a lot of what's called ADHD paralysis, where you're just sitting there and thinking about things so hard about wanting to get them done, needing to get them done, but also knowing that you're not able to get it done, that you just end up kind of sitting and doing absolutely nothing. And
Right.
it does appear to be lazy. It does appear to, you're just sitting on the couch. You're not doing something when you're not seeing really what's happening underneath the surface.
Right. Because they're being quiet. It's all in the head.
Mm-hmm. And it also, it becomes something that's actually really hard to hear as a person with executive functioning difficulties of you're being lazy, when in actuality, you're not being lazy. You're really trying to get it done. You really want to get it done, but there's something that struggles with you. And, being called lazy just adds another level of shame in all of it. And you start to hear that and go, well, maybe I am lazy. Maybe I am
then you start thinking wow, and then it gets into the subconscious mind, and
then it makes it even harder to get
I know.
started.
It's like one big vicious circle.
Yes. And, honestly, for me, even that's something that as an adult now, I can self-reflect. And if I'm struggling to get something done, I will ask myself, do I not want to do this thing? Or am I having trouble getting started to do the thing? And that also helps me, because there's times where I'm like, no, I really don't want to do that. I don't want to have
It's not be the right day.
I don't want to do this right now. So I know that in those moments, I am being a little bit more lazy than lack of motivated. But then there's times where I'm like, oh my goodness, I really want to work on this. I really want to finish this project that I got started. But why am I not able to actually put forth the effort to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that reminds me, I got to clean my office this weekend. I've been putting
I have some tips and tricks for that too.
We'll have to talk. So if a student feels stuck, what's the first thing they should do to create this momentum instead of waiting to feel motivated?
Well, honestly, the first step is just to get going. When we think about motivation, we have to think of motivation as momentum. If we're feeling stuck, something has to push the ball. Something has to get it rolling. So if you are sitting down at your computer and you're trying to get your homework done and it's just not happening, things aren't working, get up, get moving, just start something. This could be getting up, taking a quick walk to both get some fresh air. That cross-lateral movement is really good at sparking our brain connections. Maybe it's getting up and dancing to your favorite song. It could be something as small as just grabbing your drinks and your snack to bring to your computer. It's just that small step. Like, I don't actually have to start my work yet. I'm just making myself a coffee, or I'm just making myself a water. Oh, I don't actually have to start yet. I'm just going to open my computer. I don't actually have to start yet. I'm just going to open up the Word document. So by giving yourself these tiny little steps, you're not like, oh my God, I have to get go. I have to write an entire paper. You're telling your brain, nope, I just have to open my computer. That's all I have to do now. Oh, my computer's open. All right. Well, all I have to do is, open up my document, or I have to just go to the online portal and look at what my assignment is. And when you start to trick your brain into thinking that it's only doing these little small steps, before you know it, that ball is rolling and you are ready and going, and you have the motivation you actually need to get started. Because unfortunately, there's not a secret motivation thing that's going to just immediately pop you off from 0 to 60 into motivating. It takes a little time to get that ball rolling. But there are things that we can figure out about ourselves that get the ball rolling a little faster and a little sooner.
Right. Yeah, I say if I'm going to go clean my office, then I think I have to A, go play with the dog first, B, go work out. Then I'm like, oh, now I'm in the mood to start attacking it. And another thing I'll do is just work on a small little section at first. And then you're right. You're now in the momentum. Like, okay, now I'll do this one, the bigger stack.
Like even
stuff like that.
laundry. I don't know who's really fully motivated to get laundry done, but I'll even tell myself, okay, you just have to pull it out of the dryer and into your basket. And then once it's in the basket, I'm like, okay, Katina, you're just going to fold 4 t-shirts and then and then I get 4 done. And I'm like, I can fold another one. I could do another one. And all of a sudden, my entire basket has been put away. But if I think about it as, oh my gosh, I have to get the laundry out and put everything away, that task is almost impossible for me to feel motivated to do and get done. And then I end up with the inevitable, my clothes have been in the dryer for who knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And so by breaking it down and telling your brain, like, it's just a little bit, you're getting that ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, because nobody wants to clean an office. Nobody wants to clean their car. Nobody probably wants to do homework, teens, middle school students. But
it's hard to be motivated with that. And
there's honestly, a lot of things we don't want to do, so it doesn't change as you become an adult.
It's true. And, a lot of times thinking about what your finish line is helps you feel a little bit more motivated in the smaller steps. Like if like, oh my goodness, I am just completely not feeling interested in my literature program. I just don't really like this literature assignments that I've been getting. They're not motivating to me. But then you think down the road of, well, I really want to maybe run my own business one day, but I'm going to need to know how to write business plans. I'm going to need to know how to do that. So take that motivation that you have for your big picture idea and start putting it down into the smaller parts that just don't seem as fun or as motivating to get done.
Something you're passionate about, like maybe building a business, like you said. A lot of kids are doing that nowadays. They're kind of setting up a side business, even though
entrepreneurship is big.
and they may not even be majoring in that. That's kind of more of a hobby. Let's say it's music and they want to put a band together, and that's kind of like becomes a hobby. There's plenty of people that are doing that, yet they have a full-time job.
But for sure. And I mean, even I have dyscalculia, so math has always been a struggle for me and has not been very motivating for me to learn a lot of these equations. But one of the things that I had I have a great dad and he would help me build things. And I always was really interested in building stuff. And my dad would relate the math to those. Well, Katina, if you really want to be able to build these things on your own, you have to figure out how to work the diameter. You have to work on, what is the circumference and what are the equations. And once I had that connection to the bigger project, getting those smaller equations and paying attention in math suddenly felt a lot more motivating and and easier. So
I said to one of our parents recently, the young man's a football player and colleges are already looking at him. We're doing executive functioning with him at first. One of the other coaches was doing it. And, it came out that he has a side business with clothing. And I'm like, well, is he making money off of that? I asked the mom one day and she's like, well, I don't even know. I'm like, well, would you like us to help him do something about that? Because we could probably help him make money. We could do some executive functioning skills, show him how to do that and coach him on how to make money on this. So it's not even about just coaching kids it is about the skills because you need a bunch of skills to be an entrepreneur, actually.
Well, I also love the statistics that the majority of entrepreneurs and the most successful entrepreneurs are actually neurodivergent. And you see this as something very common, especially amongst people with different executive functioning differences, because sometimes it's really hard to work for a boss or to be able to follow company protocols. And we're really good at thinking outside the box. The problem is you also have to have that mindset of, I got to get the things I don't want to get done. And that is what stops most people with ADHD from having their own successful entrepreneurships, is not being able to look at what you need for the big picture and then doing it on that smaller scale and getting more interested and motivated in doing the things that otherwise you would not feel like getting done. And you might then tell yourself, I'm just being lazy.
Yeah, that's why you hire other people that have the strengths you don't have. As an
Very
entrepreneur,
true.
speaking of neurodivergent people, I mean, like Musk is one, for instance. And look,
Mhm.
he's a trillionaire, but I guarantee you he doesn't have all the skills. That's why he hires the people to do it.
Mhm.
But he definitely probably has the ideas. So that is common, true. What are some healthy ways students can boost motivation without reaching for a phone or a screen?
Mm. Yes. Well, I will say the biggest suck of motivation is our phones and our screen.
Yeah, you can
Motivation.
scroll doom all day long.
Oh, it's so easy. And they're designed to do that. They're designed to take our attention and to hold it and to want more. And the main thing running behind all of these social medias and TikToks and everything is dopamine. It's giving
Mhm.
us that wonderful instant dopamine hit that our brain seeks. And that's just neuroscience. Our brain wants dopamine. It wants to have that feel good feeling, and it's always going to go to what's going to give it to it easiest. And when
Mhm.
that's your phone, or when your brain only thinks that the phone is what gives it to me, then of course you're going to want to go straight to that screen for that fix. So it's really important to have a little toolbox of your own, or, I say toolbox, but of things that also give you that dopamine boost, that make you feel that motivation and feel good, and give you that without seeking it from your phone.
Mm.
So, for example, dancing and music is one of the best ways to activate our brain, to get our whole system going. So, if something like that is fun and motivating for you, instead of reaching for your phone, put on a song that you really like to listen to. Maybe you're just listening and chilling out. I know that as a millennial, I am definitely more prone to wanting to dance. I know some of our younger generation, dance might not be your thing, but maybe it's a walk outside. Maybe it is doing a different type of activity, hula hooping, jump roping. What is something that you
Mhm.
really enjoy that's not on your screen? And spend a little bit more time doing that before you have homework, before you have things. Because again, once you're sucked in on that screen, it is really hard to get away from it. So I really suggest that if you have something that you need to work on at home, whether it be homework or a project, try to not be on your phone and have no screen time for at least 30 minutes before you're getting started on your project. You'll have a lot easier time not getting sucked back into another reel, or, oh, it's just one more. It's just one more
Right.
TikTok. Oh, it's just one more. It's just one more.
And the algorithm gets you every time because then it starts showing you something else. That's what they have to
Mhm.
realize.
Exactly. It's, and that's how they're making the money off of us. So we just have to really be conscious about not opening that door. And I know for me, at least, if I have things that I'm doing throughout the day, I'm at work, and then I come home and I know I have a project or something I need to work on, I will not I will put my phone on do not disturb, so none of my messages are coming through. I'll put my phone in a different room so that way I'm not even thinking about it. And that's when I'll pop on some music. I'll give myself a little mental break between my workday activities
Mhm.
and what I'm supposed to be getting done. But I make sure that I give myself a break that is going to help build my brain instead of drain my brain.
Right. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people maybe use gaming as a way to, I guess, uh, instead of exercising or walking in nature,
Mhm.
they see gaming as a way to, for some people, I guess it helps them, calm the brain, I guess, in their kind
And
of world.
it can,
Yeah.
but something that calms the brain doesn't always mean it's the right thing for your brain.
Right.
I think that's, you're going to hear a lot from your teens. Oh, but it's my break, and this is, how I have fun, and this is what I do. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong about that. But it's really important for us to make sure that they know that there's more than just the game. There's more than just the social media. There's more that they can be doing, because otherwise, if they only know one thing and the only one thing that they know that can calm them down, then that does become an anchor for them. They become reliant on that. And then it's even harder to move away and to get away from that. And then when it's something that might not be able to be accessed, like when you are at work and you're working at an office, you can't always just take your 15-minute break and get onto a gaming app to do your break. So you need to start building that toolbox of other activities while you're younger, so that way they stick. Because things that we do, especially in our teenage years, will last with us throughout adulthood. And this is across the board for many things, but developing habits in your teens really does impact how you're able to then function as an adult.
Yeah, I agree. Because then it's going to become a habit that you feel like you have to get on a game when you're working for somebody. And that could cause you to get fired. Because
it can cause relationship problems when your significant other is really wanting to try to do something together, but you need to relax, and that is going into your own room or doing something on your own. And don't get me wrong, we all need some of those moments to ourselves. Like, that is completely healthy, but making sure that you don't have just one thing, that you have your toolbox of things that you can do to give yourself that break, that dopamine boost, and help you to get motivated instead of taking you away from that motivation.
Do you have any other ideas other than exercising? I mean, I agree with all these because I do that. Exercising, music. How about the people that maybe don't like specifically a couple of those kinds of things?
Of course.
Or walking. I don't know if there's something else, like especially for guys, maybe for boys.
So things like, honestly, body scans, listening to meditations is also really good for a lot of these, because you're getting different senses. Smells are also a really good thing. So sometimes you can either have like a smell jar of different smells you really like. You might be lighting a candle. For boys, getting out and doing some of like skateboarding is a really great cross-lateral activity. Doing anything that like stretching, eating sweets can also be something that starts to get your brain going, or like sour candies, tarts, anything that can spark your senses and make your senses change whatever it is that they're doing in that moment is really helpful. Even things down to, I've heard some people will do the walking on spike mats. I worked with a teen that really would get him motivated to do things. And in his head, he was like, oh, I'm walking on my bed of nails. And he called it his bed of nails. And it would just boost one. There's actually like a lot of science behind walking on spike mats. That's really good for our brains. But for two, it would give himself this little challenge of walking on nails, and that helped him get on to the next challenge of the day. And he was like, okay, I've already walked on nails. Of course I can sit and do this project now.
Gosh, that reminds me of, I think you're younger than me, but I know you are. Twister. Do you remember that game?
Oh, yeah.
I can see now why, thinking back, some of these games were so popular. Like, you're kind of like upside down and you're having to, you know, that is a form of exercise, actually. And it's got you inverted.
Yep.
I never thought about that. Even in your backyard. Well, crossword puzzles, if you're more of a you rather do it alone and not involve anybody else, and you're that type of person. You know,
physical puzzles are also a great one for this, because it just starts to get your brain thinking
teasers
in a different way.
Yeah, or those things that are, you know, even the Rubik's Cube, or the things I used to have my students doing that they had to, it was a metal like horseshoe and they had to try to get the ring out.
Oh, yes. The brain teasing puzzles. Another one that I really love is, have you seen the, they're called a puzzle ball, but it is it's a ball, and inside there is this track with a little ball on it, and you have to twist the ball around and try to get the ball to move through the labyrinth inside of this puzzle until you can get to the center.
Wow.
They're very difficult and also very fun. And it's something that like I've always enjoyed to get my brain going. It's a fun challenge, but also something that I could put down when needed.
Well, and that it explains, like, when we first got our dog, now he's 2. But, when they're younger, they tell you to get these different kinds of pet toys, that are like games and stuff like what you just described. Them trying to get their food out, or like a maze, or like I have a Congo thing, and it's got a hole in it, and he's got to try to get he hits it with his paw, and the food comes out. He's got to hit it the right way, or you're done, get the food. But it's a game. It keeps their mind stimulated, even for dogs. So we got to remember that, like, we're getting these things for our pets, but think about yourself. What would help you get your brain more stimulated? And it does not have to be a video game or on the internet. So, yep, there's all kinds of stuff. Go check those out on Amazon. There's probably all kinds of things, and sensory things for kids that are autistic and things like that are terrific. Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you very much, Katina. I know we're past our time. So, these are all great ideas for helping kids get motivated and get that ball rolling, to help them just take action, whatever that action is. It can be imperfect action. It's fine. Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Smart Parents, Successful Students. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Parents, Successful Students podcast. If you found today's episode insightful, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out our YouTube channel for even more tips to help your student thrive. Until next time, keep guiding your children towards success.